Did you know that back to school shopping is the second largest shopping season of the year, and the average American family spends over $550 per child on back to school shopping? That's insane. I don't know about you, but we're sending 3 back to school this year, and there is no way I'm spending $550 per child. So coming up, I want to share with you some tips of how you can save money, and a lot of money, on back to school shopping this year. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from theminimalmom.com. If we haven't met before, I'm married to Tom. And then we have these guys, our 4 kids, ages 3 through 8. The reason we're talking about back to school shopping today, we're gonna send our 3rd this year. So holy cow, does it add up. But I do wanna mention quick, not even finishing up really, a series on simplifying kids' toys. So I'm gonna link to those videos down below. I was really surprised. The last video we did was on getting kids outside to play. And I have to tell you this, that after that video, I felt even more convicted that our kids should be spending more time outside playing. And so I actually increased even further the amount of time that they've been playing outside. And they just seem so much happier. And so if you ever just feel like your kids are moody and unreasonable and just kind of crabby a lot of the time, yeah, we've been there. You might want to check that video out. We just share some good tips of how to get your kids outside playing longer. Well, back to school shopping, I don't know about you, but when our first went to kindergarten and we got the school list in the mail, it was really fun, and I had a lot of fun doing her back to school shopping. But now as they're getting older and we're sending our 3rd to school this year, I'm actually just feeling like it's a really big expense, and I probably should have been saving like for the last 6 months to be able to afford to send all these kids back to school. And so I want to share with you just a few tips of how we can kind of reel back in our spending this year. Okay, so number 1, we have to set a budget. I mean, if we don't have any grid for how much money we're going to spend on this, we're going to end up spending, like the average of $550 per child or more. And so really try to gauge both what it's going to cost, but also what you can afford. I know in the past that I would just, I would charge it, and it was like, well, we have to have this stuff, so it is what it is. Looking back now, if I weren't taking that approach, I think we could have saved a lot of money. So probably the thing that has made the biggest difference is I no longer take my kids school shopping. It's just too much, and it's overwhelming for them, and it's overwhelming for me. I mean, I remember when Walmart used to have like just one main row of back to school items. When I went there this past weekend, there was like 6 rows of back to school stuff. And so if I take my kids with me, it is guaranteed that they are going to be asking for stuff left and right. And I don't blame them. All of this stuff is being marketed and directed to them right now. Remember, this second biggest shopping industry, marketers are like preying on us right now. And so I do not take my kids with. They get to go shopping to pick out their first day of school outfit and their new backpack, but that is it. And the other thing I've noticed is that I need to be able to think when I'm there. And so, I'm like, I need a 2-pack of fine point Sharpies. I'm trying to look at all of the Sharpies and the colored Sharpies and the multiple packs, and are these fine tip? And so I need to be able to focus to see what it is that I need. And so if I take the kids with, I'm trying to, take care of them and can't. So no. So the kids don't come with anymore, and that has probably saved me the most money. Also, in regards to that, I shop at 2 stores for our back to school shopping, the Dollar Tree and Walmart. So I'll get anything that I can first at the Dollar Tree, like 8-pack of glue sticks. Yes, absolutely. You can't beat that. All of our tissues, we don't even use real Kleenex at home. I'm definitely not going to buy real Kleenex at Target or Walmart to send with my kids to school. Nope, these will work just fine. But then if the school does ask specifically for something like Elmer's glue or Crayola markers, I do try to get those brand names for them, because I know there is a difference in quality for some of this stuff. And so, but I get all of that stuff at Walmart. Overall, in our area, their prices seem to be the most competitive. Okay, next. We need to get a realistic idea of how many clothes our kids actually need. We had a relative over the other night, and she said to our kids, "Oh, I bet you're really excited to go back to school shopping and get a bunch of new clothes for school." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, we don't do that." And so luckily the kids didn't really pick up on it, but here's what we do know. Our kids do not need any more clothes. And I'm intentional throughout the year. I've talked before at garage sale and accept hand-me-downs and other things, but our kids have no shortage of clothing. So now they get to pick out one new outfit before school. Again, our kids going to school this year are kindergarten through 3rd grade. So I do understand that as they get older, this changes. But if you really go through your kids' closet, they probably don't need a whole lot. And a lot of times we just go shopping not actually knowing what they really need. So take a little bit of time beforehand, organize their closets and their dressers, get a good idea what they actually need, and then go from there. Another tip is to buy short sleeve tops and then put a long sleeve top underneath it. So we live in Minnesota. Obviously, our kids need long sleeve clothes throughout most of the school year, but what's on sale this time of year? It's all of the leftover t-shirts from summer. So what we've really been trying to do is to grab the clearance t-shirts and then have 1 or 2 long sleeve tops that each child can wear underneath it. Okay, let's talk about brand name clothes. So we have 4 kids, so I've tried out just about everything. Brand names, Walmart brand clothes. With the ages our kids are right now, they grow out of things quicker than they ruin them. And so I don't feel a need to buy brand name clothes so that they last longer. You know, as an adult, I like to invest in higher quality clothing because I know I'm going to wear it for multiple years. For the kids, it doesn't work that way. And so I feel no need to invest in brand name clothes for them at these ages. However, if it's an aesthetic thing for you, that's fine. But if we are serious about really sticking to our budget this year and saving money, we have to figure out where we can get those brand name clothes secondhand. And the good news is it's never been easier. And so, like I said, at garage sale, I got all of these jeans for my 5-year-old, which he goes through jeans like crazy. These were each $1 a piece at a garage sale, and they're brand name. They're Levi's, they're Gap, and Old Navy. Totally high quality jeans, $1 a piece. I couldn't have even bought 1 pair on clearance for that much. So garage sales are great. You can use Facebook garage sales and exchanges. You can use websites like ThreadUp, eBay. There's really no shortage of places to get it. It does take a little bit more time and you have to be a little more creative. Okay, and then another thing in regards to clothing. So our oldest is kind of getting to the age now where she has a little bit more of an opinion about what she wears. She's starting to notice what friends wear and what's cool and whatnot. And so our kids aren't totally, old enough yet to really get into name brands and all the fashion stuff. But here's my general opinion when it comes to clothing. If they're old enough to have an opinion on what kind of brand they're wearing, then they're old enough to earn money to help pay for it. And so I've already talked with our 8, almost 9-year-old that, if there's a certain thing she wants and it's usually much more than I would spend on that thing, then I will contribute, say, $10 to a pair of pants or $5 to a top. And then from there, it's her responsibility to pay for the difference. And so already we've had some conversations. She's like, no, I don't want it that much. And I'm like, great. But I want to teach my kids that one way or the other, it's going to cost somebody time traded for money to get these items. And so again, when we look at the big picture, I want my kids to start to have an understanding of money and costs and value and clothing and electronics and cell phones. These are the perfect thing to start to teach them these things with, for them to wrestle with, okay, if I had to work all day Saturday to just buy this one top, is that really worth it? I want them to have to think about that and to really start to feel the weight of their purchases instead of just expecting that I'm going to buy these things for them. And I know I want my kids to fit in. I think we've probably all experienced some level of not fitting in school, not feeling cool, wishing we had other things. But unfortunately, as parents, if we just give our kids these things, we're not actually making them any better off for it. So I think this is a perfect place to start those conversations. Okay, so obviously I'm not sharing, the top couponing sites or where the best deal is on markers, but I want you to know that if you've just sometimes felt overwhelmed by school shopping, let's just take back the control of it. Let's set a budget and stick to it so that we can live with ourselves, and when the credit card bill comes in, we can feel good knowing that we really did just get the necessities and feel confident about that, and that we can use this as an opportunity to start teaching our kids the value of money. And know that we're all in this together, and I do hope that it's a smooth transition for you this year. And like I said, those videos on simplifying kids' toys, you can find those down below, although I don't know if you'll have time for that right now, as well as a couple other videos on back to school that I'll link to down below as well.